Vamos ver agora uma conversa entre Jimmy Kimmel e Mike Tyson.
You and Mike have done a lot over the years,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And
That's very nice, actually.
it's nice.
It is good, yeah.
Really like it?
It's nice. And that
I
CBD
do.
is just
I wouldn't tamper with this one at all.
Okay.
nice. Excellent.
For
play
me,
basketball together?
we played basketball. We once got in the ring together, and I wanted to spar a little. And Mike said, "You know what? I like you too much to do that." And he declined.
that.
I was like, "Come on! I just hit me once. I want to know what it feels like." He said, "That's not a good idea." You were smarter
You're
than
one
me.
of the good guys, Jimmy.
Yeah, dude.
And yeah, we did a lot of. We've sung together. We've
We sung quite a few times.
yeah, I always enjoy my time with you, and I most guests, you know, you talk about the project and whatever, but I always love to hear your take on things because
Ó, olha só, aqui tem um negócio. Temos uma coisa. Ele fala isso aqui, ó. I always love to hear your take on things. Eu sempre gostei de hear your take on things. Quando você fala your take, é no sentido de opinião. Então, se eu perguntar assim, what's your take on... Qual que é a sua opinião sobre tal coisa? What's your take on tal assunto? What's your take on tal pessoa? Então, o take aqui é de opinião. Então, ele falou, ó, sempre gostei, eu sempre achei legal ouvir a sua opinião sobre as coisas. Então, I always love to hear your take on things. Presta atenção para ver se você consegue ouvir, ó.
love to hear your take on things because I think you have a lot of wisdom, and I think you've had experiences in life that almost no one else has, and
I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
and to be able to draw from those is it's just so much fun to talk to you. It really is. And I've always been a fan. I mean, you know, as a fighter, you know, I remember you at like 19 years old on the cover of Sports Illustrated, Kid Dynamite.
You
And
remember that stuff?
oh yeah, and I still probably have that. And we would get so excited to see you come out with no socks on and just no bullshit, and just come out and just knock the fuck out of somebody. And you know, growing up in Vegas, boxing was important to me, and then to get to know your personality and to see your evolution from going from being a guy who was, you know, whose job it was to beat people up to this.
What's that all about, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems so different from you in a lot of ways. It's like it's hard to. Sometimes I have to remind myself that you're the same person, that same kid who was,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
because you are a gentle person,
Yeah.
ultimately. And
Ultimately. Percebeu? Que ele falou ultimately. Isso aqui é muito comum, ó. Ultimately, no fim das contas, né? Ele traduz ali. Então, você era uma pessoa gentil, ultimately. No fim das contas. E a pronúncia é assim, né? Que ele fala all. Tem um all, né? Tem um negócio assim, all, que ele fala ultimately. Quer ver, ó? Vamos voltar aqui para vocês escutarem de novo, ó. Vamos escutar de novo aqui, gente, ó. Ultimately.
are a gentle person,
Yeah.
ultimately.
Ultimately. Quer ver, ó? De novo.
Because you are a gentle person,
Yeah.
ultimately. And that's, I think, unusual in this world for sure.
I think in life, I'm when I talk about in life, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the Gnostics, the non-believers, and whatever. Whoever uses religion or God for whatever their purpose, their own agenda, it comes a time in their life and they start to question their mortality, and they say, well, why am I thinking like this? What's causing me to think like this? Why am I who I am? Why do
most
I
people
lie?
don't
Why
do
do
that.
I do this? No, you don't think so?
No, I think
I'm
you've
really
been doing
whoa,
it. I think you've been doing it for a long time, and I think it's important to do that. You know, I think that's I can kind of almost remember. I think when you started thinking in that way, and it's great. You know, I think it's a great example for people.
I think we need to get. I think my opinion, of course, and nobody else has to really listen. That if we don't get to know who we are, I just think it's a wasted life. Just try to have an idea of who we are. I don't think we ever really get the answer.
I mean, one of the things I remember about Mike that really made a huge impression on me is there was a time, like the first few years when we were doing the show, where we had an idea to do a roast, a Mike Tyson roast on pay-per-view. And
Só uma coisa, roast é tipo a fritada. Roast é de queimar, né? De assar, né? Eles falam roast, que é um programa pra você ir lá e queimar o cara, sabe? Ficar fazendo piadinha com o cara pra fritar ele, como se fosse fritar, né? Acho que tem um programa aqui no Brasil que chama Fritada, que o cara vai lá e juntam os comediantes e ficam fazendo piada com ele pra tirar sarro. Lá, isso veio dos Estados Unidos, chama roast.
And like we approached somebody about it and they were like, yeah, this could make, you know, whatever, a huge amount of money. And I went to Mike and I said, hey, you know, I was thinking about you, and I was thinking, like, at that time, I think things weren't, like, going so well financially. And I said, hey, let's do this. And you can make, you know, I think it was like $20 million or something like that. And Mike said, you know what? I've had a lot of money, and I've had not so much money, and I like myself better when I don't have a lot of money.
Fuck yeah, I did say that.
And he said that he didn't want to do that because he didn't want the money. And I was like, wow, that's pretty heavy, you know? Yeah. That's rare.
Yeah.
Então é isso aí, pessoal. Se você gostou desse vídeo, se inscreva no canal, deixa o seu like e compartilhe esse conteúdo com seus amigos, tá bom? Vejo vocês no próximo vídeo. Um abraço.